he did a routine with Jimmy Kimmel that they planned in advance. And of course, he had the winner of the envelope for best costuming over his private part there. He and Jimmy Kimmel together were hysterical.
I guess this is wrestling news, but it's not wrestling news. Over the weekend, did either of you two have a chance to see the Oscars?
Oh, yeah.
I looked at a little of it.
Look here. Most times when you see some of these people hit the stage, you can't wait to hear what they got to say. But one person who normally you can't see was seen very much at the Oscars as John Cena became the streaker for 2024 of sorts for the Oscars. Bill, what did you think when you saw him creeping out on stage with nothing on at all?
It was great. He did a routine with Jimmy Kimmel that they planned in advance. And of course, he had the winner of the envelope for best costuming over his private part there. He and Jimmy Kimmel together were hysterical. It was a very funny moment. I got a real kick out of it. And it was fun. It was fun TV. And you know what's funny? That one of my relatives over the weekend, after it, was asking me if I saw John Cena and all that. And I said, he used to be a wrestler. They had no clue. He just thought he was a movie star.
They just thought somebody came out on stage named John Cena. Teddy, did you get a chance to see the picture or even a video of that?
Yeah, but
I got a chance to see it, man. I only thing I can say, I thought it was, good. It's something that's never happened before. It's brand new. So that certainly caught a lot of people's attention. So, yeah, man, it's just, like they say in this business, good TV.
It's funny, too, because The Rock was also at the Oscars, and most people didn't say a word about The Rock really being there. It was all about John Cena. When I got up the next morning, because I didn't watch the Oscars, but when I got up the next morning, I'm seeing everywhere John Cena streaks at the Oscars. And I'm like, what the hell? But then I did find it funny. He was crossing across stage, and John is a big guy. Just muscle up guy. He's in great WrestleMania shape, by the way. He's obviously ready for some type of a match coming down the line. But he was walking across the stage, and he had this little card, like Bill was saying. He would hold it right along, his waistline, so you couldn't see. But if you noticed, people started giving him a hard time because the size of the card was like this, when in reality, people expected it to be like this. So
I thought
Teddy Long, next year,
your
your job is to go to the Oscars and you handle the streak across the stage, and you can use the big envelope instead of the small envelope.
Well, all they got to do is pay me.
That's right.
So this was in honor of a streak that happened, I think, 25 years ago or 25
I remember
years
that
ago.
streak. I actually remember that moment of the Oscars. I did watch it then. This was just a good playoff of the Oscars, and it was a good use of John Cena. And I thought it was show a good side of John Cena where he did make fun of himself. So yeah, good stuff.
Great shtick.
Cody Rhodes, in a recent interview with Michael Cole in the ring, got real emotional as we get closer to WrestleMania. He spoke about his story, and he said that if he wins at WrestleMania, he may not be able to present that belt to his father, Dusty, like he wished he could have, to say, finally, we've got this belt. But instead, as he teared up and got choked up quite a bit as he was speaking, he said he can hand it to his mother, Michelle Rubio. And for people who have kept up with Cody Rhodes, you know who his mother is. You've seen her at a lot of events, and she has been on TV occasionally. Very sweet lady. This storyline, I feel like they're trying to put more emotion in it by him doing what he did in that interview, but I thought it was a well-done interview. Cody can really do, when he gets on the microphone, if he wants to make you feel something, he has the ability, like his father, to make you feel what he's feeling. And that's what draws those fans in. Bill, what was your reaction when you saw his interview with Michael Cole?
Well, he mentioned his mother, Michelle, who I've known forever since they got married. And he also mentioned his beautiful wife, Brandy, as well. So I thought maybe, there's rumors, of course, all the time about Brandy coming back into the fold, so to say. But I think the interview was so well done. It was so touching, because when he was talking about not being able to give the belt to his father if this happened, and he wanted to hand it to his mother, Michelle. The emotion spilled out, whether, of course, it was worked, but it was what he did was so emotionally beautiful. I loved it.
Hey, Teddy, I feel like sometimes those emotions, when they get in the ring and they start to come out, even if it's somewhat planned to get a little somber at that point of the promo, sometimes reality takes place. And if you're feeling that character, you can feel those emotions as a performer. Is that something that more people need to tap into for a better promo in the ring?
I think you need to just be yourself. Quit trying to be a character, okay? I was never a character. I was me. What I did in the ring, I did it when you saw me in public too. I was the same guy. With Cody Rhodes, the reason that was so real and emotional, because that's exactly what it was. It was real. Because I believe if his father was living today, and if he did win that title, that's exactly what he would have did. He just went and took it to him for real. And that's what he imagined. He imagined that, and that's why it became so emotional. But like he said, he can always give it to his mom, but the thing was to hand that to his dad and let his dad know, hey man, I made it. So that was real. That's what you saw. That's why you saw the tears.
Teddy, tell us a little about. Now, I know that his dad, Dusty Rhodes, was a good man with you. You have told me on many occasions that he's one of the reasons why you were in the business. Any stories that you can share with us about Dusty?
Dusty Rhodes gave me my first job. As referee, he hired me, gave me that job. And like I tell people all the time, he was smartening me up at one point in time, and I didn't even know it. At one point in time in the TBS studios, when I was, back there, running errands and getting coffee and food for the guys, I used to go down to the concession and get this bouillon soup for Jim Crockett, J.J. Dillon, all the guys that were in the production meeting. And I'd bring back these cups of bouillon on this tray, and I'd set them down for everybody. So one day I went and got that, and I brought them back. And as I was getting ready to leave, Dusty stops me, and he says to me, Teddy Long, stand right there, baby. Stay right there. So I'm standing here, and now they start this production meeting. I'm frightened out of my mind because I know I have no business in here, and they're going over the show and all this stuff, and I really don't know. I don't really understand what I'm listening to. But as I got older, I went all the way back to that, and I'm like, wow, thank you, Dusty. Thank you, because that's what made me good in the business, made me know how to sell, made me understand what this is all about. I went back to that day. Oh, God, Dusty, now I know why you made me stand here. Thank you. So that's all I can tell you about it, man. He gave me my first job, and I thanked him for it. I never forget. We was in catering, and I was thanking him, and he said, no, baby. You did it, Teddy Long. You did it yourself, baby.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Bill, do you have any memories of Dusty and Cody together by any chance?
Well, just of Dusty introducing me to both Cody and Dustin way back in the Crockett days when they were at the ballparks, and they, the kids would come along for a ride or something like that. He always had his boys with him. He really did. But he was amazing from the first time I met him. He was instrumental in not just doing things for the company he worked for, but helping me. He and I had a great friendship. He would let me know periodically when titles were going to change and where to be and when and all that kind of stuff. And I've never told people like that before. And I remember one time he called me, he said, Willie, I'm in New York City. Can you get your butt over here? I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm in Troy's Music Factory. We're going to record a song called Let's Get Funky, and I want you to come take pictures and put it on the cover, baby, and all. So he brought me into a whole recording studio and everything, where he did this whole thing, and every facet of his career, he made sure that I was kind of along for the ride. He knew the value of the magazine publicity. A lot of guys would go, oh, go away, we don't want to be in those rags, but they did want to be. But Dusty valued it, but I also became dear friends with he and Michelle during that period of time. If I went to dinner with them, they always told me, put the camera away. This is our personal stuff. Yeah, I loved him very much. If you
And
will.
Dusty was very much into promotional venues too. He knew the importance, as you say, of promoting what was taking place. And Dusty was very good with me over the years in radio, and kept me supplied with WCW merchandise for years and years.
Did he?
And he, yes, I still have his number on my phone. I called his house, and we actually had a discussion on a bill that was going to be passed in Georgia that would have basically shut down independent wrestling in Georgia because of the taxation they were trying to lay on it. And Dusty was the guy I called who put me in touch with Linda McMahon to get the attorney was the famous attorney out of Atlanta. I can't remember his name, John something. Anyhow, he came and we fought that bill in Atlanta, and won. But it was all thanks to Dusty. Dusty knew how important that was, and he made sure that it got handled.